Hello everyone, my name is Abhinav. I am your host and your friend. Yeah, so I'm back with another video, and this is 14th August 2025. I'm making this video. I want to be the top lawyer of India, and I've shared it in my previous video. This is my aim. Yesterday, after making that video, I am making some efforts in learning some law and all that stuff, related things. So yeah, here's I am with some things that I want to share with you. Right, I have did some research, did some analysis of you know some law terminologies, law cases, or whatever you can say. I'm new to YouTube video making, and I'm new to law as well. So if I made any mistake, just forgive that. Yeah, I have this, this notebook, right? Here I have all the information in written. I have write down the information that I have collected. Okay. So first of all, I just want to clear that I have got this information, got this knowledge from ChatGPT. I have taken ChatGPT's help in making this research, and this research is possible only because of the help of ChatGPT, right? I want to make sure that thing, right? Okay, guys. So here's all the data, and let's talk about it one by one. Let's get started. So first, we will talk about the structure of courts in India, right? In India, the courts are, present in the hierarchical structure, right? There is one at the top, one at the middle, one at the bottom, right? This type the court, the hierarchy of courts work in India, right? So here's I have written the information. I'll read it for you guys. Okay, the topmost court in India is the Supreme Court, and it is located in New Delhi, right? And it is the topmost court in India. The appeals that got rejected in High Court, or if a person is not satisfied from High Court's decision, they can go to the Supreme Court and can appeal there, right? That's the thing. It is headed by the Chief Justice of India, who is just a second, B.R. Gavai. Okay, and he will serve the Supreme Court as the Chief Justice of India till the age 65. Right, that's the thing. The second thing here is the High Court, right? It is the middle, that is the middle hierarchy of the courts in India. High Court, they are one High Court for each state in India. Some manages one or two states, right? Like the Lakshadweep Islands, right? It is a union territory, and probably, if I remember, the court of Kerala, the High Court of Kerala manages the cases of Lakshadweep Islands. That's like the High Court of Kerala manages two states, actually one state and one union territory. That's the thing. High Court handles the appeals from the lower courts, like district courts. If a person is not satisfied from district court decisions, they can appeal it in the High Court of their state. That's the thing. Now here comes the third hierarchy of courts. That is the subordinate courts, right? District or below, right? District courts basically present in every district, right? Like I live in my district, I can't disclose the name, but yeah, my district has a court. Your district definitely have a court, right? These are the lower level of courts, right? Lowest level, and they manages the basic cases of that particular district, like civil case, criminal case, and all that stuff. Family courts are also in it, who handles the divorce cases, and that's the thing. They are in the district court. There are certain different type of courts in the district court itself. That are magistrate courts, right? Civil courts, criminal courts, and all that stuff. For your information and to prevent confusion, one thing to be noted: the family courts come under the civil code, right? And civil code handle uh, disputes like property related, family matters, etc., etc. And yeah, there comes some smaller courts from this below this level, you can say. They are called special courts or tribunals, right? Basically, they manages the very small level of cases, like the consumer protection cases, consumer courts, labor courts, tax courts, etc. They manages these kind of works, and hence they are called tribunals. Okay, so let me tell you different type of laws. Okay, so the first one is the criminal law, and the second one is the civil law. Obviously, there are some other type of laws like administration law, constitutional law, right, corporate law, intellectual property law, etc., etc. All of these are written in this notebook. I'm just reading. Okay. Um, I'll not tell you more about this because it requires specialized knowledge to understand and any further. But I'll give you the basic outlay. Like criminal laws, deals with the murder, theft, robbery, these kind of cases. Obviously, and the civil law deals with disputes between individuals, right, and property disputes and all that stuff. Okay. And yeah, here comes some important legal terms, right? I'll tell you some important legal terms that I have studied. Now, number one is the plaintiff. It is also known as complainant, right? I'm right. I can't edit all these stuffs in this video because it will be very hectic to just edit all these terminologies and all the stuff that we have discussed previously. It will be very hectic, and thus the main aim of this channel is to learn English in a better way. The aim of this channel is to learn English only, right? If I do editing, then my time is gonna waste. So I'll not do that. So please understand orally, right? So yeah, here the first term is plaintiff slash complainant. It means a person who brings the case, right? A person who basically complains to the court that this or that thing happened with me, now solve it, right? That is a complainant. And number second is the defendant slash accused, right? This is the person on which complainant have filed the case. Like person A files a case on person B. In this case, A is the plaintiff slash complainant and person B is the defendant slash accused, right? Because now B have to defend himself in this case, right? That's the thing. Number third is the petition, right? Petition is basically a formal request made to court in written, right? Okay, that's it, nothing much. Number fourth term is the affidavit, right? Affidavit is a sworn statement. It's a bit difficult to grasp, but let's understand this. Suppose if a person A, gives some information to court, right? Now the court don't have any evidence or anything to prove that it is wrong or right? So court will just give him an oath, right? And this oath will ensure that this person is talking the truth, he is telling the truth. That's the thing. And this oath can be religious, if the person is from any religion, and this can be I forgot the name, but it can be secular oath if a person does not belong to any religion or something like that. Okay, so basically the courts provide oath to the person who is giving the information that he will tell the truth only, he will not lie anything, and the person is legally bound to that, right, to the words he spoke, because after that if those words are found to be incorrect or false, right, then the person who spoke that after taking the oath, he is legally bound to, face the legal challenges. Okay, so now the fifth terminology is FIR, First Information Report. Most of I think most of you are aware of it, right? Because it's a thing which is normalized, right? I think everyone should know FIR because it's a basic thing, very basic thing. First Information Report. So if let's explain from the very basic, right? If a person, provides the information to the police about a criminal, a criminal offense, right? Then it is known as the FIR. Suppose you have seen a murder, right? And you will go to the police, you will provide information to them that this thing happened, now do something. That is known as an FIR, First Information Report, right? And this only happens in criminal offenses, right? That's a thing to do. If in murder cases, in robbery, theft, kidnapping, etc., in those cases you can file an FIR. You can file an FIR in the divorce cases as well, but you have to prove that the accused is the accused has faced some criminal offenses, right? I forgot that because I am new into law. I'll improve day by day. That's the thing. But yeah, you can file an FIR in divorce cases as well, but you have to prove that the accused has faced some criminal offenses, right? That's the thing. Now here's the sixth term, that is bail, 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 right? It means released from custody while ongoing trial, while trial is ongoing, right? I'm very bad at English, just forgive me. Okay, so bail, in simple words, it's like a person A who is in custody and a court trial is going on against him, right? That a case is going on, but he is in police custody, right? So we just request the court, or we just we request the court to let him get out of the custody. That custody, he should be released from the custody. That's the thing, right? That's the main thing. Yeah. Here's the seventh terminology, that is appeal, right? Appeal basically means it's like, let me give you an example, right? Here's the example. Suppose if a person is fighting a case in lower courts and the decision came from the court and he is not satisfied from the court, right? Now he can go to the high court of his particular state, of the concerned state, right? And then he can appeal there that I'm not satisfied with the lower court's decision, now do something please. That is known as appeal. Basically requesting the higher courts to review the case, or to review the lower court's decision. That's the thing, right? Now eighth terminology is writs, WRITS, right? It's a bit difficult to grasp. Actually, even I can't grasp it till now, but yeah, I have grasped it a little bit and I'll tell you that thing. It's constitutional remedies like habeas corpus, mandamus. Yeah, I know you can't, you didn't get anything. I also didn't get anything when I read it for the first time. But just in simple words, just understand that this is related to fundamental rights of ours, right? It's like, how can I just, it's like, the fundamental rights of every people in India that are written in our constitution, that, example, freedom of speech, right? If, anyone disobeys this law, right? Disobeys the constitution law, or the constitution laws are getting or the fundamental laws are getting disobeyed anywhere, then you can file a writs complaint there in the court, right? And you will probably yeah, that's a different thing, but yeah, you can file a writs complaint in the court that this fundamental rights it getting disobeyed by that person or by that thing. That's the point. Yeah, you can file a complaint, writs complaint, for your fundamental rights getting misused. Okay, so yeah, let me tell you the basic filing journey. Actually, the basic journey of a case, how a case is filed and how it is won or lost, right? So here's the first thing. The first thing everyone should do, everyone have to do, that is filing. It means filing the case in the court, right? Filing the case in the right court. If the case belongs to criminal court or the civil court or any different type of court, right, or any tribunal, you have to file the complaint, file the case in that particular law, actually in that particular concerned court, right? You have to file it there. Now the second work is notice. Okay, when you file the case in the concerned law, actually in the concerned court, right? Now the second work is to notice, inform the other party, right, on whom you have a case on, right, who is the accused. You have to inform them, and that is called notice. A formal notice is sent to the other party, stating that you have you are in a case now and you have to come to the court on this date, all that legal information that it contains. Now the third thing is hearing. The third point is hearing, right? Now the other party knows that I am in a case, you have filed a case, everything's done. Now you go to the court, you both go to the court, and the judge and your lawyers will argue on different things. They'll hear the case first, right? Then they'll argue on the case, and then they'll make judgment. Okay, the court will make judgment. They will give you the judgment, right? That's the thing, right? Filing, okay, giving notice to the other party, hearing and arguments happen in the courts. Then the court gives judgment. And if a person is satisfied from the court's judgment, then go on with the punishments or whatever the court says. If you are not satisfied with court's decision, you can go to a higher court and appeal there. Like you are fighting a case in your district court and you lost that, but you are not satisfied with the district court decision, then you can go to the high court and appeal there, right? That's the thing. If you are even not satisfied with the high court's decision, you can go to the Supreme Court, right? Here's one thing I want to tell you, that if you are not satisfied from Supreme Court's decision, right, there's no higher court, right? Not a higher court than the Supreme Court where you can go and appeal, like, right? You can only request the Supreme Court to review their decision, right? That's the only thing you can do, and that is very rare it happens, right? Because Supreme Court's decisions are most of the time they are right, and Supreme Court have a lot of cases pending, so they will never waste their time in reviewing a case. It rarely happens that Supreme Courts review a case, and but yeah, you can do one thing, right? In certain cases like death penalty or something, even bigger, actually, some bigger punishments and death penalty, obviously, you can send a letter to request the president. Actually, you can request the president of India to show mercy towards you. That's you can do, right? That's the thing you can do. Now, here comes the court etiquettes, right? This is written, the court's etiquette, that what manners, what code of conduct you have to follow in the court, right? So here's the first one, right? Suppose you are a lawyer and you are, you know, I mean, how can I just express that? You are a lawyer, your judge is sitting next to in front of you, right? How would you, call him, right? How would you call the judge that this is the thing I was talking about, right? All that stuff. You will say, Lordship, my lord, your lordship, to address the judge in the high courts and the supreme courts, right? You address the judge by saying your lordship. You will not use their name, you will not say Mr. Judge, you will say your lordship, right? In the high court and the supreme court. But in the lower courts like district court, you will say your honor, right? HONOUR, your honor, you will say that. You will address the judge by saying your honor in district court, right? That's the thing. Now the second etiquette you should follow in the court is stand when the judge enters, right? Guys, just a second. Ignore that voice, please. Ignore that noise. Okay. Second is stand when the judge enters in the courtroom and when he leaves from the courtroom after proceedings, because that's a way of showing respect towards the judge, because he is a very educated person. He have lot of experience in the education and in the law field, so it's okay, he deserves the respect, right? We should show respect towards him. It's a way of showing respect towards the judge, right? Now the third point is speak clearly, avoid casual conversations or casual language, right? Basically, you are fighting for a case in the court where the lives of your client might depend on you, right? And the time that court proceedings requires is very high. So to minimize that time, to save time, right? There's a lot of cases pending in Indian courts, and some of the cases just go very long, till 40-50 years, right? And to minimize the time, to save court's precious time, avoid casual conversations and language, right? That will be beneficial for you, your client, the judge, and the court, right? It's morally, actually it will be beneficial for you that you will always on point, right? So that judge will have a feeling that this person is very mature and professional, so he'll listen to you, he'll listen to you very carefully and very properly. That's a this adds a very fair point to your professional work, right? That's the thing. So now number 4 is the dress code, right? What dress code to follow? That's a very basic question, right? In India, courts uses white, lawyers uses black pants, black trousers actually, white shirts, right? And advocates black coat, right? That's the basic, as per Advocates Act, these this code of conduct, this dress code, every lawyer have to follow as per Advocates Act. That's the thing. So here are some of the questions. Here I have written down on this page. There are some questions that that I got in my mind when I was making these notes, when I was reading these basics about the law. And let's begin, right? So here's the question number 1. Who is the Chief Justice of India and how is he selected, and also his tenure, right? So Chief Justice of India is the head of the Supreme Court, right? And currently he is Mr. B.R. Gavai, right? B.R. Gavai is the Chief Justice of India at this point of time, at the time of making of this video, right? And how is he selected, right? So Chief Justice of India is selected based on the seniority principle. It's like the senior most judge in the Supreme Court will become the Chief Justice of India after the current Chief Justice of India will retire. That's a procedure. And his tenure, right? A Chief Justice of India will serve to the Supreme Court and will serve to the nation till age 65. That is the retirement age, right? That's the thing. Question number 2. What are constitutional cases, right? Constitutional cases are the cases that that are based on the constitutional laws, right? It's like you have read our Indian Constitution. At least you know the basic right of our constitution, basic rights every Indian have, that is written in the Constitution. So, and let's take an example, right? You know, Indian Constitution defines a lot of things, right? So suppose if the Indian Constitution describes a thing, and in the real life, in the practical life, somewhere or someone have faced that this constitutional law is not getting fulfilled, or it is getting misused, or it is getting overlooked, or whatever the thing, they can file a constitutional case stating that this constitution is not getting in proper use. So when you file a case related to the constitutional law, that is known as the constitutional case, right? Now here comes the third question. Do divorce cases come under civil courts? That's a fair point, right? That's a good question. Yeah. So the basic thing is divorce cases come under civil court, but civil court also have a branch called family courts, right? So divorce cases are mostly handled by the family courts. But if there are no family courts in the district, then civil courts, listens to their complaint and does the proceedings. Okay, here's the next question. What are magistrate courts? Okay, actually I didn't know this properly, and I don't think it is as important to know it properly. It is not that important, but yeah, up to my knowledge I'll tell you. The magistrate court is a lower level of court in the district courts. It mainly how would I tell, it mainly manages the criminal offenses cases only, right, which are the very basic level, right? It has very limited powers, right? That's how magistrate courts do their work. They handle only criminal offense cases which are of very basic level, like theft, robbery, or etc. A very basic level. Okay, so here comes the next question. What is a tribunal and how it is different from courts, right? That's a fair question. So yeah, here's the answer. A tribunal, is like a court, but at the lower level from a court, right? It is below a court, right? A tribunal basically manages the very basic level of cases of the district, right? Like income tax cases, intellectual property right cases, right? And just a second, guys. Consumer courts, labor courts cases, etc. They just manages these kind of cases, right? Okay. It is different from the courts because they just manages a limited type of cases, while the courts manages a very wide variety of cases like criminal, civil. They are the basic, criminal and civil cases are the topmost cases which have to be studied, which have to be proceeded in a very good manner, in a very different manner, different way. So the courts does that, while in a tribunal the basic level of cases goes there, right? And in the magistrate court, right, the very basic level of criminal offense cases goes into it, right? That's a difference. So now here comes the next question. What is an affidavit with example? Affidavit is a written statement that what written is true. It's basically like affidavit. I have explained it before in this video. It means that statement which is written is true. You know, in this video previously we have talked about this, that a person will take oath and he'll tell the court that this that happened. His statements are true, are considered to be true. If they are found to be false or wrong, he'll be legally bound to face the legal action. That's the thing. Okay, so here comes the next thing. Who can file an FIR, and in what type of cases a person can file FIR? A person can file FIR in, basically every person can file an FIR, but he can file an FIR only in criminal cases, right? Like theft, and robbery, murder, etc., right? Missing, etc., etc. In those cases a person can file FIR. Even a person can file FIR in divorce cases, but the person have to prove that he have faced some criminal offenses, like actually I don't have words for this. I don't have that much knowledge till now, but just to understand this, right, that's enough. Okay. The next question is, can higher courts reject someone's appeal? Right. It's a good question, right? It's a very good question. Actually, it should come in the mind of every beginner lawyer, and the answer is yes. High court can reject someone's appeal, right? Because if high court notice that the decision made by the lower courts is right, okay, right? The decision made by the lower courts is right, the judgment is right as per the facts of the law, right? Then high court can easily reject the appeal, right? Because there are a lot of case pending, and high court don't want to even burden themselves, right? That's the thing. Now here comes the next question. What if a person is not satisfied from Supreme Court's decision? Can he appeal any further? That's the thing. There's none other court who is higher than the Supreme Court, who has the higher authority than the Supreme Court. So a person can only request the Supreme Court to review his case, and in serious cases, in serious judgments like death penalty or some other, like I don't know that, but yeah, in that case a person can approach the president and he can request the president that please show mercy on me, please just make this judgment, make my punishment a little bit easier, like that's the thing. Here comes the last question. What is the difference between a case petition and a complaint? Right, so a complaint is a formal request, basically. Actually a complaint is a formal written statement, right, that you made against someone, that this thing has gone wrong, make it correct. That's a complaint. You can do it in police station or in courts directly. Now here comes the petition, right? Petition is a written request to the court that this thing is getting wrong, could you please do it right. It's a request for smaller works, right? Now here's a case. A case is a full drawn complaint, you can say a bigger level of complaint, that this person has done this, that person had done that, and now I want justice for myself. That's the thing, right? So this is the basic difference. Case is a full grown matter and that the court has to solve, while the complaint is just a complaint, right? And petition is a request to the court. That's the thing. So that's it for today. We have talked a lot about, and the video is getting too long. So yeah, I'm Abhinav, your host, signing off. Thank you for today.